Joe Harper?
No chance. Aberdeen, 1-0.
There we are, disagreement between our experts. Time to go over now to our match commentator, Jock Brown, summariser Billy McNeill.
Thank you, Ian, and after listening to these predictions, I can't help thinking that the last 5 Scottish Cup finals have gone to extra time, and this may make it the 6th. There's one for sitting on the fence. So the side out in the field, David Hay looking as calm and relaxed as normal, and Alec Ferguson also looking relaxed, although he certainly is fierier by nature. And both sides have brand new tracksuits for the occasion. Pat Bonner, the Celtic goalkeeper, and Bob Ballantyne refereeing his 2nd Scottish Cup final. He handled the game between Celtic and Rangers in 1977 when the winning goal was scored by Andy Lynch from the penalty spot. So a line up for the two sides to meet the dignitaries attending the match. Gordon Strachan facing his last match in Aberdeen colours. So a long shot of the Celtic players, and you can see the tension among the players right now. Billy McNeill, you've been there both as a player and manager. This must be a very long phase in the preparation.
Yes, I think it is, Jock. I think this is a time when players just wish the referee would call them together and start the kick-off, because really they're happy when the game begins, and obviously both sets of teams are there and they want to make a good start. I think that's always important in the cup final. You want to get the ball early in the game, you want to get your passes going, and I think at this stage really players just want to get all these ceremonies over and start to get on with the game itself.
So the ceremony is about to begin as the players are now to be introduced. That's the President of the Scottish Football Association, David Will, introducing Scottish Office Minister John Mackay, I think, and followed by the representatives of the clubs, Dick Donald, the Aberdeen chairman, Tom Devlin from Celtic, with Ernie Walker, the SFA secretary. So the players obviously anxious to get this part of the whole affair over. And the opening, as Billy McNeill said, could indeed be crucial. There have been 6 matches between the sides this season, 2 wins apiece and 2 draws. And only in one of these matches has more than 1 goal been scored. That was in the first league match of the season when Aberdeen beat Celtic 3-1 at Pittodrie. But that apart, it's either been 1-0 or 0-0. So the linesman, Mr McKinnon from South Queensferry, and Mr Andrew from Paisley. And you can no doubt hear in the background the supporters getting into the mood for the action to start. So the Celtic subs are first, Jim Melrose and Graham Sinclair, 2 unlucky players who haven't managed to find their place in the side from the start. So quite a few of the Celtic players looking for their first Scottish Cup win. Pat Bonner, Mark Reid, Willie McStay, Paul McStay and Brian McClare have no Scottish Cup medal so far. Whereas only one man, the Aberdeen side, is in that category. That's Stuart McKimmie, the young fullback. So Danny McGrain, of course, the last Celtic player to be introduced, the captain, and the oldest player in the field. I'm sure he'll excuse me for that. He's 34 years old. The average age of both sides, incidentally, is 24, which is very interesting indeed, in the sense that we have some very young players indeed on the field, and it certainly augurs well for Scottish football. So the Aberdeen side, as named in the morning papers: Shaw, Leighton, McKimmie, Rugby, Cooper, McLeish, Spiller, Strachan, Simpson, McGee, Black and Weir. The substitutes are, indeed, as Arthur Montfort told you, Billy Stark and Dougie Bell. The unlucky man out, perhaps, John Hewitt, who has failed to find a place in the squad. So Stuart McKimmie has had a dream season after his £90,000 transfer from Dundee in December. He's won a Super Cup winners' medal, he's won a League Championship medal, and this is his first visit as a player to Hampden Park. So the Celtic side also, as named in the morning papers: Tom McAdam, of course, the unlucky man, out through injury. Willie McStay coming in to join his brother Paul, and that takes us back 16 years since the last brothers appeared in the cup final side, when The Callahans played for Dunfermline when they beat Hearts in 1968. A very important afternoon for David Provan. Back in the Celtic side after watching John Cahoon wear the number 7 shorts in the last few games, and a man who is anxious to make a big impact to guarantee his future in the game, either at Celtic Park or elsewhere. And Bob Valentine, the referee, who handled the League Cup final earlier this season. That is a remarkable double in the same season to handle both the League Cup final and the Scottish Cup final, and that indicates the standing this man has in refereeing circles. He will be in the European Championships in June when he handles the prestige match between France and Belgium. So the crowd, 60,000 plus inside Hampden Park, which looks very trim and smart after its facelift. The Aberdeen supporters massed to our left, the Celtic supporters principally on our right, and the opening formalities are all finished as the massed pipe bands depart. The teams switch round for the start. So Celtic will be bidding for their 27th Scottish Cup win. Danny McGrain looking for his 5th, Willie Miller leading Aberdeen, who are looking for their 5th Scottish Cup win in their history. And of course remember that they are on a hat-trick, a feat only achieved since the war by Rangers in the early 60s. Gordon Strachan also a key man for Aberdeen. It'll be Aberdeen to start the match. So a burst of anticipation round the stadium as the 1984 Scottish Cup final gets underway. The referee checking that everything's in order all around him, making sure the bands have departed and are well away from the corner of the pitch to our left. It is interesting already that Tommy Burns had appeared to line up in the middle of the Celtic midfield three as Aberdeen start the match. Gordon Strachan in a deep position, the Fleece losing out immediately to Burns. So into these tense opening minutes. Willie McStay getting an early touch to the ball in the biggest match in his career so far, after some very fine performances this season for Celtic. With one or two getting an early touch, sending a long ball down, coming off the head of Brian McClure. And here's Mark Reed. Burns waiting in the middle. Cooper coming into a challenge. Now Willie McStay. McGrain playing it forward. McGarvey and Miller clash, and the referee waves aside McGarvey's protests. McGarvey clearly feels he was impeded by Miller. The ball is safely through to Jim Leighton. Well, Billy, that's an interesting change in the midfield for Celtic, with Murdo McLeod operating on the left and Tommy Burns in the middle.
Yes, I think he's obviously been detailed, Murdo McLeod that is, Jock. I think he's been detailed to watch Gordon Strachan, because I think they appreciate that Gordon's such a great influence this Aberdeen side.
Another good interception there from Willie McStay. So Murdo McLeod getting away from Neil Cooper and being impeded on the way. That's a free kick to Celtic. Two strong men in the midfield for Aberdeen, Cooper and Simpson. Bobbin in the middle with his header out. McKimmie very positive and determined despite that misunderstanding with Cooper. Simpson to Weir. Sidestepping McGrain. And the pass goes behind Mark McGee, but a poor clearance from McLeod picked up by Cooper. Here's Strachan. Aberdeen playing towards their own supporters. There's Eric Black. And the far side linesman indicates a corner kick, but the referee overrules him and gives the goal kick. Aiken policing that behind. He challenged Eric Black. The Celtic certainly appearing to favour a 4-3-3 line-up at the start, with David Provan pushing well forward. Aberdeen starting up with 4 in midfield. Strachan and Weir, the wide men, and that's for Black. Good interception from Aiken. Paul McStay under pressure. Well, that's what Simpson's so good at, making these determined challenges in midfield. Tremendous stamina. An Aberdeen throw. The target is Mark McGee. The play robbed David Coven by Weir. Header out from Aiken as far as Simpson. McLeod's header. Here's McKimmie. Well, Strachan had hung back deep, looking for a square pass. McKimmie thought he was moving forward. So it's a Celtic throw. Good play from Willie McStay again. So Willie Miller calming things down at the back for Aberdeen. Strachan using McLeish. So both sides trying very hard to settle down in these opening moments. The crowd urging them both to speed things up. Aiken battling with McGee, two very strong players. There's Strachan. McKimmie made the forward run immediately, and there's Strachan again. McGee back towards McKimmie. Good challenge from Paul McStay. Now Burns. Tackled by Strachan. So still the match hasn't settled to any pattern. There's Rory McLeod looking for Frank McGarvey. McGarvey also restored to the attack, leaving Jim Melrose on the bench for Celtic. Here's Danny McGrain. Near post chip for Brian McClare. And Woodbury and McLeish combine to get the ball clear. The first look at Brian McClare in an attacking position for Celtic. With great respect, of course, by Aberdeen. Here's Davy Provan. Running Woodbury well. McGarvey trying to set it up for Paul McStay. There's McLeod. So close to the opening goal from Murdo McLeod. Very promising attack from Celtic. It was Provan who did well initially, getting away from Woodbury. Playing it in, the layoff from McGarvey. McStay did well. McLeod with a side foot shot just wide.
I think we can call that a genuine chance, Jock. Nice bit of play from Davy Provan, looks keen to get involved in the game. Nice little slip from Paul McStay across the area, and Murdo McLeod wasn't far away with his chance at all.
Well, that will certainly encourage Celtic. 5 minutes on the clock, one great opportunity in front of goal, and there won't be too many of these perhaps against this resolute Aberdeen defence. Here's Provan again. Taking on Rugby. Showing good close control, a lot of courage too, taking on Rugby and willing to hold the ball, tempt the defender into the tackle. And Peter Weir did well. That was a great tackle on McGrain, and Paul McStay coming in late. Weir has come to no harm. But a couple of very powerful tackles there, the first of which was an excellent one from Peter Weir. Very determined and powerful on Danny McGrain. He then reacted very quickly to get on his feet to win the ball, take it away from Paul McStay and be sent spinning for his pains. So it's McGrain, the victim of the undoubtedly fair tackle, who's taken the knock. Peter Weir, who's been the victim of injury troubles this season for Aberdeen, is all right after the tackle from Paul McStay. But an anxious moment now for Celtic, who will be very anxious to return the services of their captain. Oh, McGrain appears to be all right, and it's an Aberdeen free kick.
One surprising thing, Jock, about the lineup, I think Aberdeen have fielded what Fergie will think is his strongest side. But to me, in a game which always looked as though it could be short of goals, it's a surprise that John Hewitt has been left off the bench.
Yes, that was a surprise. It wasn't expected this morning, and I wonder if John Hewitt has come by any illness or anything overnight to leave him out of the squad, because he was such a valuable substitute. 16 goals he scored this season. Got no chance to add to that this afternoon, as McGrain comes forward for Celtic. Barnes playing it wide, a difficult one for Mark Reid. Poor pass that from Barnes, asking rather a lot of Reid, and it's given Aberdeen the throw. Cooper and Barnes together. The referee gives the throw to Celtic. Neil Cooper, just 20 years old, looking for his third Scottish Cup winners' medal, as are 9 of this Aberdeen side. Stuart McKimmie has no winners' medal, and Peter Weir has 1. All the rest have been in the squad which won the Cup against Rangers in the last 2 seasons. So Bobbin over on the left. Goal kick to Aberdeen. Well, McGarvey very happy, no doubt, to be involved in the Cup final after sitting on the bench so often in recent weeks for Celtic. So Morden McLeod screening the ball from Cooper. Foul conceded by the Aberdeen midfield player, and Valentine taking a firm grip on the proceedings, having a word with the Aberdeen man, who certainly has been involved in a couple of hefty clashes early in the match. So Mark Reid with the free kick. The player going up with McLeish, who wins it. McKimmie's clearance picked up by Barnes. With Willie McStay. Dropped by Simpson. Rugby using his pace to get in the loose ball. Still going forward, great play from Rugby, and McGee is offside. Well, something of a tragedy that for Rugby. Some tremendous play from the big defender. Picking up the loose ball after Simpson's tackle, Willie McStay, powering his way forward. I think it was such an unusual sight that the Aberdeen strikers weren't too sure which break to make, and McGee went offside.
Again, a good, interesting run by Doug Rugby, Jock, but the game has started well. It looks as though it's going to be a good, exciting contest.
Now Strachan chasing the pass from Eric Black. Aberdeen trying to get men into the box. It's well taken by Bonner. An awkward cross. He handled very well indeed. Celtic anxious to get to the other end. Here's Davy Provan. Simpson getting back. McLeish stood back, allowing McGarvey to come in. Here's Provan running at the Aberdeen defence. The tackle was from Miller. Here's Morden McLeod. Still McLeod again. And it was Willie Miller whose last-ditch tackle saved the day for Aberdeen. Quickly giving a goal kick to Aberdeen. Well, this was good play from Provan. What a good start he's had to the match. Committing this Aberdeen defence. Miller at full stretch with a tackle. There was Morden McLeod with a good shooting chance, and look how quickly Miller got across again.
Again, we've got a real bit of excitement, Jock. Aberdeen have a chance at one end, Celtic miss a good chance at the other. But it's very interesting. David Provan has started the game in magnificent form, and when he's in that type, when he's going to give that type of display, there's none really better than him.
So plenty of action, but still no scoring. What a tremendous opening to the match. Davy Provan, very much a key figure. And Willie Miller too, with these 2 great tackles the match for Aberdeen, showing his value again. And Celtic, to their credit, have reacted to the Aberdeen 4-4-2 by leaving 3 only at the back and pushing Danny McGrain into right midfield, where Peter Weir is operating for Aberdeen. That means they're determined to keep Provan, McGarvey and McLeod up front. So instructions coming from the dugouts, or from the bench, for Doug Rugby. And no hurry to take that throw while he got some instruction from Willie Garner, the Aberdeen assistant manager. Here's McKimmie in open position on the right. Strachan making the run, he's onside. Running it back, and he couldn't hook it back enough. Bonner was able to collect. So here's Paul McStay. Provan playing it for Barnes. And now McGrain. Bonds looking for McGarvey on the right. It was cut off by Rugby. Cooper doing well, winning the high ball for Weir. In that crowded midfield area where Bonds uses Willie McStay. Neil Simpson. McLeish looking for Mark McGee. The tackle again from Miller, totally decisive. That's one for McGarvey to chase, the forward pass from Mother McLeod, but McLeish this time is the last man for Aberdeen, doing the sweeping up job. McGarvey looking very sharp on the left up front for Celtic. He got his head to it, so did Simpson. Now it's with McGrain. With Paul McStay. Running away from Cooper, but Simpson getting back to help out in midfield. He's off with one of those runs again, running straight into the right knee of Roy Aitken. So a free kick to Aberdeen. Aitken coming to meet Neil Simpson with the right knee up. Rugby's free kick. Black with a header. He was pushed from the back by Aitken. So Aberdeen have a free kick. And this could be very promising indeed for Aberdeen. They have Eric Black menacing in the air, joined now by Alec McLeish. Rugby has stayed back nevertheless. Led in by Weir. Led away by McLeod. Wayne's clearance straight up in the air. Simpson, robbed by Paul McStay. So 15 minutes on the clock, still no scoring. Gordon Strachan for Aberdeen. Looking for Black, Bonner committed. And Davy Provan, rugby tackle to the deck by Peter Weir. So Celtic free kick. 17 minutes on the clock at Wembley also, and no scoring there either between Everton and Watford. Well, I'm quite sure the action there will not be better than it has been here in these opening stages. Some excellent attacking play by both sides. Celtic perhaps coming closer in that period. There's McGarvey. Miller steals it and invites Leighton to come and collect. So the understanding in the Aberdeen defence paying off again between Miller and Leighton. An understanding which will almost certainly operate next week here at Hampden again when Scotland play England. So pushing by Eric Black on Roy Aitken as the ball was in the air. Spotted by referee Valentine. So here's Willie McStay. Leaving it to Bonds. Under McLeod. Looking for McGarvey in the box, testing it down for McClair. Good build-up that from Celtic. But it was handled well by the Aberdeen defence. Cowan making life difficult for Leighton. And a very good build-up this. The chip ball in from Mother McLeod. McGarvey chesting it into the path of Brian McClair, but the defenders were there for Aberdeen, and Leighton did the rest when the high ball came in.
It's been a very interesting start indeed, Jock. To me, I would give Celtic the edge in the opening minutes, simply because of the fact that I think in Davy Provan they've got a player keen to display today, and it looks as though the other front players are going to respond to him, and at the moment he's getting a bit of freedom, he's confident on the ball, and they're creating Aberdeen more than a few problems.
So McGarvey taking on Rugby, obstructed, and the free kick is given to Celtic. And Provan has been given a roaming commission up front for Celtic. He's been roaming from right wing to left and even through the middle, but he's on the right for the moment, winning that from Rugby. Well, Rugby was certainly determined on that occasion to make his presence felt at the expense of a throw-in. Garvey holding off Billy Miller. Here's Paul McStay. Robin playing it in. An awkward ball, well taken by Leighton. And a fine piece of goalkeeping. Releases Strachan on the right. Celtic getting men back very quickly indeed as Strachan hold things up for Aberdeen, looking for movement ahead. Gets it from McKimmie. Misunderstanding there. McGee moved to the right at the wrong moment for Strachan, for McKimmie, and here's Neil Simpson. Black off on the run, covered by Aiken. That decision goes Aberdeen's way. Fine cross from Weir, but no one there except Murdo MacLeod. And how's that for coolness? He knew he had plenty of space, MacLeod, to cushion that ball back to Bonner. Simpson again with a telling tackle in midfield. This time on Tommy Burns. Reid with the throw for Celtic. Bovenol on the left. McLeish's clearance. McStay anxious as always to play football from the back, but couldn't find Reid with that pass. Black playing it back for McGee. He's brought down, but Black still has possession. And here's Peter Weir taking on McGrain and brought down by McStay. So a free kick to Aberdeen. And another excellent opportunity around the box for Aberdeen to use one of their set pieces. Well, referee Bob Valentine bringing Paul McStay and Roy Aiken to him for a couple of very heavy tackles around the box. The first was unpunished as Aiken went to the tackle because of the advantage rule, but Paul McStay was the man penalised this time. And it's Weir and Strachan over the free kick. Now, Peter Weir is something of an expert from this situation. He has swerved a few of these into the top corners over the years. Four-man Celtic wall. Will it be Strachan? Will it be Weir? Well, it was Strachan, but perhaps he wishes it was Weir. So a wasted opportunity for Aberdeen. So leaving us all guessing till last minute, and Strachan undoubtedly trying to swerve that in towards Bonner's top left-hand corner. A low kick out, finding its way to the Celtic man, the former Tommy Burns, but battle on again in the midfield for possession. McStay wins it for Celtic. Now Burns away from Strachan. Trying to get away now from Neil Cooper. Miller intercepts. Not quite what we had intended, I don't think. Bobbin to McStay. Garvey took his eye off it, and that brisk interchange with Brian McClare. And Peter Weir wins the throw off Danny McGrain. The Celtic certainly not looking at this stage in the match like 74 or 2-1 outsiders as they were being quoted yesterday. Certainly given their supporters a lot of encouragement in the opening quarter of the match. But that's a free kick, the tackle by McGrain on Weir. Beating Simpson to it. Cooper retrieving it. McKimmie now sending it wide for McGee. Taking on Willie McStay, and the cover provided by Mark Reid. Good defending that from Reid. McGee had the legs of Willie McStay for the moment. the Celtic bench. Frank Connor doing the pointing. So Gordon Strachan with the corner kick. McLeish going to make a run from the edge of the box. Rugby's already in there. Is McGarvey 10 yards back? That's Strachan's question. There it goes to McLeish. Headed back in for McGee. There is Eric Black. He's onside, and that's the opening goal. 23 and a half minutes into the first half. And Eric Black, the man who scored the winner against Rangers last season, gets the opener. Corner kick flighted towards Alec McLeish. Clearly a prepared move from Aberdeen. The header back towards the far post. McGee was challenging, he didn't get to it. Black snapping up the half chance while Celtic appealed for offside.
I've got to be honest, Jock, I think Celtic had more than a reasonable appeal there, because I really do feel that Eric Black was in offside position. And look at this challenge by McGee. I think he's certainly in offside position. I think they had a fair grievance there.
Well, back in the play, it's not often I disagree with this next step beside me, but I thought when McLeish's header was played, he was onside, because nobody else touched it apart from that. And we are playing it wide for Strachan. There's McKimmie. Oh, can Aberdeen cash in on that? Great opening. The goal, I think it's fair to say, coming against it on the play. Here's Paul McStay for Celtic. Going all the way himself. No, he didn't get it properly.
In fairness to Aberdeen, Jock, that's how they hit you, don't they? They try to contain you, but then hit you on the break. Seen them do this so often. They've done it again today.
Certainly makes it a very tough task for Celtic. The Aberdeen defence so frugal in conceding goals when McLeish and Miller and Leighton are at the best. Not to mention McKimmie and Rugby. And Neil Cooper angrily turning as McGarvey went in late with the tackle. The referee was quickly on the scene and waved play on. But clearly spotted the reason for Cooper's anger. Getting the touch on towards Eric Black. Tackle from Danny McGrain. Throw to Aberdeen, and the official time for the goal, for those of you waiting to hear the result of the competition, is 23 minutes 40 seconds. Well, that undoubtedly will make someone very happy in the country just now, but no one will be happier, I don't think, than Eric Black. He's had a very tough season through injury. Against taken by Weir, but Eric Black, who has only found the net 11 times so far this season, gets a vital one once again. Makes a habit of that, all right. Got one in the European Cup Winners' Cup final last year in Gothenburg, got one in the extra time against Rangers in the Cup final last year, and now he's given Aberdeen the lead. Timmy playing it forward. There's Roy Aitken. McGrain. McGarvey holding it up to use Prover on the touchline. Robbed by Rugby. Prover was unhappy about the challenge, but the referee was quite content that it was fair. Strachan getting a lot of attention there from Reid and McLeod. And that's what's given Celtic possession once again. Strachan still complaining to the referee. Trying to cut noise with Bob Valentine. You can see from the gesture he's telling him to pipe down and get on with the game as Mark Reid takes the throw. Here's Paul McStay. Simpson snapping at his heels. Well, these two will be colleagues next week in the Scotland squad. You wouldn't know it when the exchanges this afternoon. Aberdeen, no doubt, will be content to settle on that lead. Billy McNeill says they strike when you're apparently under a collar and then settle down to compose themselves in the lead with that very tough tackling midfield, Cooper and Simpson. But here's Burns for Celtic, the man on whom they'll be depending for some inspiration in that area, along with Paul McStay. Strachan content to operate very deep so far in the match. So is Peter Weir. Good running from Strachan, taking a pass from Weir and carrying the ball away from Aiken. And the referee gives the free kick. Aiken exchanges a pleasantry with Gordon Strachan. And the referee, I think, will use his notebook for the first time this afternoon, and the man who will be booked will be Gordon Strachan. And now we'll see the reason why. Strachan a bit frustrated, he was in a good break there, lunging out at Roy Aiken. And that's what turned him up looking.
A little touch of the David and Goliath there, Jock, really was, but you know, in fairness to the referee, I think Gordon showed his frustration there, but to take on Big Roy shows a bit of courage as well.
Gordon Strachan costs Aberdeen Football Club £750 from his sponsors for that booking. There's Cooper for Aberdeen, using McKimmie, who's always willing to break from deep positions on the right. Still no scoring after half an hour at Wembley. But we've had a goal here at Hampden. It came from Eric Black for Aberdeen. Weir judged it well. And McGrain, I think, is happy to get a free kick. The referee indicating that Weir handled the ball, he tried to control it. There's the clock, half an hour gone here at Hampden, 1-0 to Aberdeen. Eric Black's 24th minute goal. Pushing by Rugby on McGarvey. Well, it's getting even tougher out there after quite a brisk, hectic start, and there was some sharp tackling. Things are getting tougher and forcing referee Bob Ballantyne to keep a close eye on things. Aiken coming forward. That, I think, will be a corner kick, yes. An error in judgment by Stuart McKimmie. I think he tried to control it all right. Spinning ball beat him. So Robin switching to the left to take the corner. Willie McStay in the box with Roy Aiken. Cooper heading it out. McGee trying to get there in front of Wade. There you see the strength of the man. He not only got there but rode the tackle. And Black is offside. There wasn't a great deal in that, but it's just timed the forward run.
Actual fact there, Jock, you saw an indication of Mark McGee's ability. He's able to withstand challenges, control the ball and wait for his other forwards and midfield players to link up with him. And really Eric Black spoiled a good chance there.
Good play from McGarvey. Now that was excellent defending from Alec McLeish. He might start run from McClare towards the near post all the way to get in the defensive header. So some high-class defending, preventing some very good build-up play from Celtic on the right. Aiken again going to the goal mouth. Played across by Burns. Leighton stayed in the line, and that turned out to be good judgment as McStay's header came in. So Leighton stayed in the line, and Willie McStay was at full stretch with that header. Couldn't get real direction or power into it. Well taken by Leighton. Simpson again winning a vital tackle in midfield. There's Strachan. Weir caught rather on his heels for that pass. McGarvey was onside, slipping at the wrong moment. Oh, in fairness, Willie Miller was coming across to cover. Here's Stuart McKimmie for Aberdeen. Sliding it towards McGee. There's a touch for Weir. A great chance for Aberdeen, and splendid defending by Danny McGrain. Well, it's a quality which doesn't often get the credit it deserves. That positional play followed by a very good tackle, this time from McGrain. We started a moment ago from McLeish. Strachan winning it for Aberdeen. Now Cooper to Weir. A player getting back to help out in defence. Celtic respecting the talents of Peter Weir in this left touchline. Weir-Straw looking for McGee. Willivick stays with him. Breaks back for Weir. Well, I think he was aiming for Eric Black at the far post. He will hit the cross. There's McGarvey. Well, that was supposed to be a first-time flick inside towards Burns. The police taking no chances as Provan came in. Well, Aberdeen seemed to have settled a bit since he got the goal, Billy.
Yes, this is the problem when you play Aberdeen, Jock, that if you give them a lead, they're very, very difficult indeed to disrupt. Because let's not beat about the bush. In McLeish and Miller, they're two magnificent defenders, and they're at their best holding on to something.
And McLeish under pressure this time from McGarvey and Provan. And Neil Cooper coming back to sort it out for Aberdeen. That's the annoyance of Davy Provan. The referee Valentine's positioning certainly couldn't be faulted. He was right at the heart of the action there. Willivick stayed just missing Gordon Strachan with a tackle. Weir forced to retrieve it. Strachan now wandering to become more involved in the play. There's Simpson using Cooper. Cooper anxious to give possession to Strachan wherever he can, but Celtic midfield closing down, and Burns finds McGarvey. Now McGrain, good running from the Celtic captain, and another fine tackle from Cooper. Aberdeen gives so little away in that midfield area. Complete misunderstanding on that occasion though, as Strachan played the ball wide. There's Reid going forward. Rugby got in the tackle this time. Well, Weir was trying to pick out Simpson inside. 10 minutes of the first half left. Here's Paul McStay for Celtic. Tested down by Willie Miller with a good view of that. There are some claims for a penalty as Leighton's in trouble. There's Gordon McLeod off the line by McKimmie. Oh, what a chance that was for Celtic. The Aberdeen defence living dangerously but surviving. Well, this was a moment Jim Leighton will want to forget. He failed to hold the ball coming inside. McLeod with a shot and McKimmie in the right place to head clear. Alec McLeish's frustration clearly shown there towards Leighton. Well, Celtic are behind by a goal, but they certainly have had the better of the chances apart from that. So Aberdeen holding on to that one-goal lead, but certainly they've done so in a very slender fashion. So some news from Wembley is that a Scotsman has given Everton the lead. It's Graham Sharp who's got the opening goal at Wembley. Everton 1, Watford 0. There's Frank McGarvey. Well, there's Strachan towards Black. Black looking for a foul as Reid comes forward. Taking on McKimmie, and Miller in the way again. Alec McLeish taking no chances. Leighton called, but I think he called late for it. And McLeish is content to concede the corner kick. Well, Celtic now making a big push to get back in level terms. Provan's corner. McLeish above everyone. Good header that from McLeod. Provan is onside. Slanting it in, and McLeish again beating McClare to the ball. Provan still has possession. Trying to get into the box. There's McGarvey. McKimmie with him. And the ball is crossed behind for the goal kick, and the pressure goes off Aberdeen. But Celtic undoubtedly now, Billy, making a big push.
Yes, I don't think there's any doubt, Jock. They can consider themselves very, very unfortunate to be one behind. I think possibly the unfortunate thing that's happened is that all the chances have fallen to Murdo McLeod. Now, Murdo's got a tremendous record for scoring from midfield, but unfortunately just hasn't quite managed to hit the target properly this time.
Well, plenty of singing around the stadium. I think it's both sets of supporters radiating optimism. Aberdeen because they have the lead, and Celtic because they certainly have shown a lot of attacking flair. There's Mark McGee taken right out of the play by Roy Aitken. Well, a rush of blood to the head for Roy Aitken, and that will be a booking at least. Gordon Strachan wants to know what about it, and there you see it again. That's a desperate tackle from Aitken. Oh, as McGee went past McGee went past Reid, taking on Aitken. A little change of pace here to go past him, and Aitken was certainly going to make contact with something.
Yeah, I don't think Roy can complain about that, Jock, but it's a difficult position a defender finds himself in at times when he knows that he's in a situation that if the forward goes past him, he's going to get a free run in and goal. Perhaps there's a more political way of committing the foul, though. Roy was very, very rash and can't complain about the booking at all.
Well, he's not being booked at all, he's being ordered off. The Celtic players are now going towards the referee. Strachan and Aitken having a consultation. Now a little bit of trouble here. Strachan is the target of some anger among the Celtic players. Referee Bob Valentine has ordered off Roy Aitken of Celtic. And now the Celtic officials coming to the track. David Hayes on the touchline. Well, it certainly was a desperate tackle in my book, but I never really expected Roy Aitken to be given his marching orders. McGee is still on the ground. Aitken is ordered off. The Celtic players now trying to calm themselves.
Yeah, if we look at the tackle here, Jock, you see McGee, now really, he catches Roy in the wrong foot, and Roy really makes a lunge at him, but I don't think there was any malicious intent, and quite frank with you, I don't think he could complain about being booked, but I didn't think it was at all an offence to be sent off with.
Aberdeen's free kick. Drain clearing. Strachan playing it wide. I think they can take it. These Celtic 10 men will play out of their skins. They feel a great sense of injustice about that. And in fact, I'm beginning to wonder if Roy Aitken said anything foolish to the referee in the midst of all that. Seems to be a possibility, although it was a very severe tackle. So 5 minutes of a dramatic first half here at Hampden to go. Aberdeen leading by Eric Black's goal in the 24th minute, and Celtic reduced to 10 men. They've lost Roy Aitken. Now they've reorganised by pulling Murdo McLeod into the back four alongside Willie McStay. Strachan at his best going forward. Burns trying to get back. McLeod took him out of the play. And referee Bob Valentine is going to be stretched to the full to keep this match under control. And one statistic I can't give you is when last a player was ordered off in a Scottish Cup final. It's one to check, and there's going to be trouble for Murdo McLeod. But Gordon Strachan certainly has incurred the wrath of the Celtic players, mainly because of the comments he made to Roy Aitken after the foul on McGee. This was great play from Strachan. He committed the Celtic players. Burns was getting back. McLeod was beaten, and there's the late tackle. At this time, referee Valentine is content with a yellow card for Murdo McLeod, and Aberdeen have a free kick. Weir and Strachan over the ball. We've seen this before. A variation, no. There's McGee, and Roofy misses right at the far post. Well, we've seen the play-acting free kick many times before, but this was a variation. The short ball knocked wide of the wall. There was Mark McGee. He did very well to get in the end of it, pull it back across the face of the goal, and how did that stay out?
I think at the moment, John, obviously Celtic are so severely disrupted and disillusioned by the send-off of Roy Aitken, and really Aberdeen might just cash in at this stage.
Yeah, we're approaching half-time, and Celtic, I think, will be content to hang together until the interval and try and reorganise for a second half onslaught in Aberdeen. But if Aberdeen could snatch one again before the interval, I think the task would surely then be beyond the 10-man Celtic team. We won't have a better opportunity than that. There's 2 minutes plus stoppage time left in this first half. So Willie McStay's clearance. McGarvey got up well, but he had no support because Celtic have had to withdraw Brian McClare into a midfield position. McLeod's in the back four, McClare's in midfield, leaving just Coven and McGarvey up front. Strachan going for that with Mark Reid, who wins the race. And Burns brought down by Neil Cooper. Back now with William McStay. So McClare playing it forward to Frank McGarvey. The news from Wembley is that it's half-time there and Everton lead by 1-0. The scorer, to remind you, former Dumbarton striker Graham Sharp. So 1 minute left until the interval here at Hampden. Boos all round the stadium from the Celtic supporters for Gordon Strachan, who has possession. Black and Simpson. Black is free, he's offside. Well, that was careless. I think Eric Black should have been able to remain on side in that situation. They had a lot of room to move in. The seconds ticking away towards the interval. Celtic a bit unlucky, Billy.
Yeah, I think they've been desperately unlucky, Jock. Really, that they were unlucky not to have scored themselves, and certainly they were unlucky to be behind. But I honestly feel that they've been very, very unfortunate to lose Roy Aitken.
Well, that's a situation which can't be changed now. There's Coven now wriggling into the box, and Rugby with the hurried clearance. Snapshot from Burns, didn't catch it properly, and that's behind for the goal kick as the 45 minutes of the first half are up. The referee now going into time added on for stoppages. Jim Layton in no great hurry to get the match back underway as referee Bob Valentine checks his watch, checks with both linesmen. So a dramatic first half here at Hampden. Eric Black there, the scorer of the only goal of the first half, the 24th minute. The opportunist goal for Aberdeen to give them the lead, and then Roy Aitken ordered off just a few moments ago. And Celtic now going forward, but there goes the half-time whistle blown by referee Bob Valentine. Half-time score, Aberdeen 1, the scorer Eric Black, leaves the picture, Celtic 0. We join the panel right after the break.
Throw. Mounfield's header couldn't get to it. Barnes might, and Southall in the opening moments had to make a very important save. Here's Reid. They will expect a lot from him in the midfield, using his experience. Here he comes again, and again, this time finding Heath. Heath in turn finding Richardson. Into the side netting, which was guarded well by Sherwood. Peter Reid. But Gary Stevens crossed in early. I think Sherwood may have suspected a cross was coming in. Wahi. Taylor with a lovely ball for Barnes. And somehow they kept it out. Oh, just wide from Les Taylor. Stephen, 0-0 here still. Johnston. Now Riley. And some nice skills by him, and they're onside. Johnston's on his way. And he might finish it off. In the end, Bailey just got back there in time. And in the end, he was happy to put it away for the throw. There's Taylor. Oh, he might go all the way. Just wide. Bailey to Richardson. And now Reid. And now Richardson. Whipping in a good cross. And Sharp. And a goal! His first cup tie goal of the season, and it comes at Wembley.
Well, terrific play down the left-hand side and a good ball whipped in there by Richardson. And there was a challenge here to Stevens that the ball ran lovely for Sharpie and bang in off the post. So here's a ball again get played in by Richardson, and as I say, it was a lovely ball, knocked it in with a bit of pace on it, just got scratched out by the centre halves. And here's Everton go back up in support, and well, there you are, the ball runs lovely for you.
The only goal of the match at Wembley scored there.
Top round, Billy McNeil.
So the second half has just started. And referee Valentine, of course, getting a lot of abuse verbally from the Celtic supporters when he reappeared after the interval. And this is certainly a cup final which will be talked about for a long time, no matter what happens in the next 45 minutes. So Celtic have had a chance to rethink their 10-man organisation at half-time, and we're looking at it now to see if there are any significant alterations, but it looks as though they're starting the second half the way they finished the first, namely with Willie McStay and Murdo McLeod as central defenders, and Brian McClair back in midfield alongside Paul McStay and Tommy Bunn. But here's McClair. How Celtic will welcome his stamina this afternoon. Simpson doing well, working it out of the box. There's Neil Cooper. And Strachan in space. Taking on Reid and bundled to the ground. So the free kick has already been taken as referee Valentine has a word with Mark Reid. Now here's Weir for Aberdeen. McGee with a return pass. Good build up from Aberdeen. And the final cross going astray. Well, Billy, you've been in a situation before. You're down to 10 men. What can you say to the players at that point?
Well, I seem to remember some years ago, Joe, we were faced with this situation a couple of times. Once at Ibrox and once at St Mirren. We came back, once at Celtic Park against Rangers. We came back to win the matches. There's no doubt that Celtic players have the appetite, have the spirit. But it's one hell of a task, Joe. It's a one hell of uphill battle for them now.
And one thing Celtic haven't done this season, their 6 matches against Aberdeen, is come from behind to get results. Now they have to try and do that with just 10 men. Here's McGarvey. Robin on the right. Certainly gave Rugby a torrid time in that first half. He's doing so again. Return ball from Paul McStay, and Willie Miller is there with the clearance again. But Davy Providence certainly is in the mood. Came off Frank McGarvey, so that's an Aberdeen goal kick. So no sign either that Aberdeen have made any significant tactical changes at half-time. But it is obviously difficult too to make the extra man tell in a situation like this.
Yeah, well, I think Aberdeen have a basic style, job that they stick to, and Berge enjoys the fact that his 4 midfield players tend to support the attack, but they tend to work very hard to get back behind the ball.
McGarvey challenging Rugby. McGee looking for Eric Black. Simpson has picked up so many of these loose balls in midfield this afternoon. Weir sidestepping McGrain. Swerving the ball to the left for Mark McGee, and stay quickly into the tackle. McGee brought down by McStay. Scissor tackle on the legs of Mark McGee. McGee, of course, an extremely difficult striker to challenge from that situation. He's so powerful. Header out for McStay. Police looking for Neil Cooper. And good play by Reid, getting Celtic out of trouble. McGarvey was pushed from the back by Stuart McKimmie as he came forward, so it's free kick to Celtic. Robin linking with McClair and Burns. Robin is through the middle, McGarvey on the left. He's time to tackle well. Here's Strachan. Scorer of the only goal, Eric Black. A long awkward ball, Bonner coming to meet Mark McGee. And McGee did appear to lunge rather towards Bonner than at the ball. And the referee in fact has had a word with Mark McGee while allowing the Celtic goalkeeper to carry on. Rugby and McLeish going for the same ball. Black holding things up, holding off McLeod. McKimmy's made the forward run. Celtic who have possession. Captain Danny McGrain. Here's Tommy Barnes. McClare. No one there except Gordon Strachan. Well, it certainly looks as though Aberdeen are quite content to sit in their one-goal lead, and I wonder if they may run the risk of regretting that, because surely if they could snatch a second goal it'd be hard to catch. And the news from Wembley is another Scotsman has scored. Again it's for Everton, and the scorer is Andy Gray. So 2-0 for Everton against Watford. Andy Gray is scorer of the second goal. Graham Sharp got the first. Simpson playing it forward for Mark McGee, trying a long-range effort. Certainly there was only Eric Black up front alongside him. Well, the Celtic bench and David Hay gesticulating along with the rest. Some instructions onto the field. Alec Ferguson has joined the Aberdeen bench. He was in the stand in the first half, but he's down closer to the action now.
I listened to your comments just a minute or two ago, Jock, and I think you're dead right that Aberdeen sit back and allow Celtic a bit of head. They'll get back into this game.
Tackle on Peter Weir, and it's an Aberdeen throw. Certainly it does appear as though Aberdeen have allowed the tempo to drop, and that may well work in Celtic's favour with their depleted resources, with Roy Aitken in the pavilion. So the time taken here for throw-ins certainly gives Celtic some recovery time. There's McGee, challenged by Willie McStay. And McStay is penalised for using his elbow unfairly on McGee. So Willie McStay, I think, is now stirring the wrath of the referee for making his own point too forcibly. McGee forcing it back. Rugby keeps it in play. Eric Black is offside. Rugby's measured pass back. Jimmy seeking out Eric Black. Runs for Mark McGee. He's away from McLeod. Mark Reed's header out. McGee couldn't control it. Celtic's throw. Roger McLeod occupying a new role for Celtic, the heart of the defence. Cooper in quickly on Reed. Such a valuable asset. Cooper alongside Neil Simpson in midfield in the engine room of the side. Strachan wins it from Provan. McGee again showing his strength on the ball and his close skills. He breaks back for Reid. Robbed by Cooper. McGee caught in his heels. Rugby collects it. Certainly while the pace has dropped, Aberdeen appear to have a stranglehold in the game. 10 minutes now into the second half. Miller switching play to the left. Here's header looking for Simpson. A player no stranger, of course, to midfield. Played there for Motherwell regularly. Rugby, and that ball was deflected off Paul McStay, but Pat Bonner kept his eye on it. Well, this could have caused trouble for Bonner. Rugby letting fly, it took a deflection off the shin of Paul McStay, but dropped handily for Pat Bonner. Tight past that from Simpson towards Weir, allowing McGrain to come in, and Celtic have the throw. Will Cooper marking Tommy Burns. Made his debut against Kilmarnock in October 1980, still only 20 years old. He was 16 at that time. McGarvey through towards McGrain. That'll be a corner kick. Rugby's passed back. Well, now here's an opportunity for Celtic. McGrain in a hurry. So Willie McStay's gone into the box. That was Aiken off the field. Celtic even shorter of aerial power in the box. Provan preferring a short one to McGrain. Miller's header out. Ball was spinning awkwardly. There's Willie Miller's header. Now McGarvey. Provan took up good position to give him an angle to take the pass. Running into Simpson. And here's Strachan. Only two up for Aberdeen, Black and McGee. Strachan going to make it three. Fine pass to McGee. Looking for Eric Black, and Mark Reid did the covering. Here's Burns now for Celtic. Celtic undoubtedly will have to live a little dangerously when they go forward. They'll have to expose themselves a bit at the back in order to get people into attacking positions. Here's Frank McGarvey. Now Burns. Provan switching over to the left. Losing out to Willie Miller. Black spinning the ball from McLeod and being brought down. Both the Aberdeen strikers adept at spinning the ball, holding play up, both McGee and Black. McGee is the more powerful figure. Now Strachan. Rugby and Weir leave it to each other, and Celtic get the throw. A little bit of slackness creeping into the Aberdeen play, Billy.
I think there's a lot of slackness that's crept into the play, Jock. I think the obvious aspect of going into half-time, then come back out knowing they're a man extra. But at the moment, Celtic have got just a little grip of the game, and they're capable of springing a surprise. Obviously, depend how long their legs are going to last out. But at the moment, Aberdeen are getting careless, and it may well just allow Celtic to get something.
And these remaining 10 Celtic players certainly can't be faulted for effort. Dummy from Stay, allowing McGarvey to come forward. There's Davy Provan. And Celtic have a lot of players forward in this attack. Leash for the clearance, straight back to Provan. Now Burns. Rugby casual again, losing it to Burns. And the Celtic throw. McGarvey looking for support. He gets it from McGrain and from Willie McStay. And McGrain resisting the temptation to hoist a high ball into the middle, where McLeish and Miller certainly have been the masters in the match so far. A better pass forward, but McStay couldn't control it.
Jock, it's to the Celtic players' eternal credit. At the moment, they're not giving up. They're fighting for every ball. They're chasing everything, working very, very hard. And they've got themselves right back into this game.
Lovely piece of play from Paul McStay. It's a good cross. Well taken by Leith. So 15 minutes into the second half. 1 hour gone. Still 1-0 to Aberdeen. Celtic, remember, they're used to 10 men. Black takes on McLeod. And the little Celtic midfield player to the task to concede the corner. Alex Ferguson is off his seat, giving some stick to Doug Rugby in particular for some slack play on the far side. So Peter Weir with a corner. McGrain got his head to it, Bonner at full stretch. Played out by McClare. The only man up is Provan. Miscue from Willie Miller. Willie McStay gives it to Brother Paul. It's given away to Aberdeen. Strachan has possession. McKimmie always willing to come from the back. He's got McGee wide on the right. McLeod was the more determined. Good first tackle on McGarvey. So Tommy Burns now trying to get away from Cooper to make a telling pass forward for Celtic. Reid is on the left. Aberdeen have got a lot of players back. All bar two, in fact. Blank and McGee are up front. Everyone else defending. McKimmie's tackle. Paul McStay and Strachan clash. An accidental knock for Strachan as Reid gets possession for Celtic. Now Provan. Good tackle from McKimmie with Strachan. Asking Black to set off with a run. And good goalkeeping from Bonner. Willie McStay looking for McGarvey up front. Getting support from McClare. McClare looking for a shooting chance. A long bit of running for McClare. He's won the throw. No, he hasn't. It's an Aberdeen throw. McClare is unhappy, but Neil Simpson's appeal bears fruit. So it's Aberdeen in possession. Stuart McKimmie. McLeod full stretch, but the ball comes to no harm as it reaches Danny McGrain. Well, it was the first half full of action, good football, some good attacking play, an opening goal for Aberdeen, controversial ordering off, but the second half hasn't lived up to the same heights in terms of entertainment, I think, for the 60,000 plus crowd inside Hampden. And that, I think, is down to the tactics adopted by Aberdeen of stifling play and trying to keep a grip in the play with no chances being taken. This Strachan. Taken from the back by McStay. Brian McClare having a word with Gordon Strachan, and Paul McStay is going to be in trouble this time. He was spoken to in the first half by referee Bob Valentine, and now I think he'll be booked. We'll perhaps see in a moment what upset referee Valentine so much, but I think he's indicating to young Paul McStay that it's down to the earlier infringements, with this one being the last he was prepared to accept. The Strachan thumped from the back by McStay's knee. So the youngest player on the field is booked. With his whole family in the stand watching him and his brother Willie. Touched on, neat play by Black towards McGee, but the flag was up against Mark McGee for offside.
It's been a disappointing second half, Jock. To be honest with you, I confess, frankly, to being disappointed in Aberdeen's performance today. Because really, they went in 1-0 up at half-time, largely because of Celtic's inability to cash in the chances they created. And they really haven't dominated this second half the way they should have done.
McGarvey was hoping that Mark Reid would make progress in the left. That's where the shortage of a player perhaps tells in these wide positions. Here's McGarvey though. Striking to the touch. Mark Reid threading it through for Provan. Now McGarvey. And McKimmie escorting it behind for the goal kick. Another very good piece of defending by young Stuart McKimmie. Kept calm in that situation. So, getting to the midway point through the second half, Aberdeen still leading by that Eric Black goal in the first half. Well, that's beautifully controlled by McGee. Going past Willie McStay in the same movement. Still McGee coming forward, trying to make room for the shot. Good goalkeeping by Bonner. And some fine attacking play by Mark McGee. Asking, I think, about a foul of the referee. Well, he got away from Willie McStay initially. McStay checked out of a rash tackle. Now McGee trying to make the angle for the shot. Got it in well, and Bonner went down quickly to his right. So a bit of action to bring Aberdeen to life, and that's a very bad tackle this time by an Aberdeen player. It was Doug Rugby, the Celtic player, surrounding the referee, looking for action similar to that taken against Roy Aitken. The referee views that one rather differently. That was a hefty tackle all right by Rugby. That's Provan. Well, no one at the far post except Stuart McKimmie. Black going up with McLeod. Simpson getting to the ball very quickly indeed. And then McStay lofting it forward, and Rugby gets there in front of Provan. Aberdeen get the free kick. So the big man limps and gets no sympathy at all from the Celtic supporters, giving him a fair amount of stick. McKimmie looking for McGee. He in turn trying to find Eric Black. McLeod doing well at the back for Celtic, and Black and McLeod clashing after the ball goes away, and it'll be Black who will be in trouble. After McLeod won it, Black reacted angrily. Let's check this one again. There's McLeod getting it, and it's Eric Black who showed his own anger. That's not a great deal in that, but referee Valentine determined to keep a firm grip on the proceedings. So young Eric Black becomes the next player to be booked, and the winning side this afternoon wins £15,000 from a sponsor. The loser £7,500 less, £750 of booking, and in Celtic's case £1,500 for nodding off. So at this rate there won't be much sponsorship money to come out. McGee down to Strachan. Stage header goes straight to Cooper. Cooper took a late knock after he played the ball forward. So it's Burns for Celtic. Here's Paul McStay. Cooper is back on his feet. Provan now, can he find room for the shot? Being forced wide by McLeish. There's Burns with the header. Well, you can see how deliberately he tried to steer that ball down towards the bottom corner. Playing it in here to Provan. Provan forced wide by a good piece of defending by McLeish, who wouldn't let him turn inside. Provan did well though to get in the cross, pulled it back. Burns with a deliberate header, and Leighton in good position. Celtic have kept their impetus going, Jock. Davy Provan's had, for me, quite an outstanding match, and he's been well supported by a whole lot of Celtic players. But Davy's got that little bit of flair, and he looks keen to use it. Another piece of slackness in the Aberdeen defence, allowing McGrain to come forward. Here's Davy Provan. Support arriving rapidly in the box now for Provan. And McKimmie taking no chances, running it behind to the corner. But Aberdeen certainly are living dangerously. There have been a number of moments of slackness in the back four. I think it's not being too unkind to Rugrugui to pick him out for one or two uncharacteristic lapses. Certainly took a knock a few moments ago, but not quite at his sharpest in the last 20 minutes or so. Waldenstein lost it forward. Leighton comes to claim it. Now that's excellent goalkeeping. No complaint from Brian McClure. Aberdeen come forward again. Stuart McKimmie, some activity in the benches below us. I think we may see substitutes before long. That's a good tackle by Willie McStay and a free kick against Mark McGee. Jim Melrose warming up for Celtic. They'll certainly welcome a fresh pair of legs up front. Well, I'm not sure which of the strikers they may take off because none of them have been failures this afternoon. Good play by McGrain and McClure. McClure trying to get away from Cooper. Here's Frank McGarvey. Coven coming to the ball. And Leighton prevents it from going behind. But the Celtic supporters rising to their favourites. Which is good play by Celtic. McClure doing well, linking up with McGrain initially, then McGarvey's cross. Coven coming to the ball. Couldn't get direction into the header. Certainly be a change in the Aberdeen ranks also. Dougie Bell is stripping off the lows. Jim Melrose for Celtic coming on, and Dougie Bell in a few moments. Gordon sliding it forward. The Celtic supporters trying to inspire the team to go forward. McGarvey clashing with Willie Miller. Protest innocence from McGarvey. Free kick given to Aberdeen. Now the first substitution will be made. In fact, there will be one on each side. Now, there's some adventure from Celtic. Mark Reid is going off. Jim Melrose goes on. And for Aberdeen, it's Peter Weir who's limping off. And Dougie Bell who's going on. Well, you certainly have to hand it to Celtic in particular. Taking off the defender, bringing on a striker. Pushing Tommy Burns into a deeper position on the left side of midfield to cover the left back row as well as his creative duties. The Celtic certainly are going for broke.
Yeah, I think it's a very wise substitution Davy Hayes made, Jock, because he's really got to go for gold now. He's got to say, let's have a go at Aberdeen, bring on a fresh pair of legs up front, see what happens.
Dougie Bell is offside, taking the pass from Black. Well, that involves a bit of reorganisation for Aberdeen too. Dougie Bell coming on because Peter Weir is on the left side of the midfield. Bell prefers to operate near the middle of the field. In fact, Neil Simpson is pushed across to the left side. There's Rugby. Lapse in concentration on the part of Willie McStay. That handball. So Aberdeen's free kick. Using Bell at every opportunity since he's come on. Here's Gordon Strachan. Now Bell. McKimmie on the right. Supported by Cooper. McKimmie off on the run. He mistimed it. He's offside. Well, McKimmie's protest is thoroughly unjustified. He was clearly offside when the ball came through. Garvey playing it wide for Proven. Proven attacking the Aberdeen defence, and Willie Miller standing firm. Oh, good play from McGee. Trying to do too much on the ball low. Now Cooper to McKimmie. So here's Strachan now taking on Melrose. Going for the gap between Melrose and McGarvey. Wasn't really there, but Strachan has got the free kick. Just over a quarter of an hour left. Aberdeen still hanging on to that slender lead provided by Eric Black in the first half. Strachan. Miscue by McGrain. McKimmie. Bell running straight into Tommy Burns. Good tackling by Burns. Celtic trying to get players up to support. One of them is Proven. Can he make a shooting chance? Trying to play it across the face of the goal, but Aberdeen get back in numbers. Well, you cannot but admire the Celtic determination and courage. Burns turning it inside to Willie McStay. The lay off to Melrose from McClear. That's a fine tackle by McLeish. Now Strachan has some space to work in, and Burns, who's filling that left back position, has gone upfield. Paul McStay trying to get back. Well, McGrain did not appear to get any call from anyone to tell him how much time he had. Alex Ferguson was not impressed by the ball from Strachan, leaping off his seat below us to gesticulate to the field.
I think Jockey was more concerned with the fact that he had two front players standing out wide, not come in to attack the space. I think he was probably happy enough with the pass, but he looked as though he had a couple of lazy players for him there.
Well, Aberdeen are certainly winning the Scottish Cup at the moment, but I think it would not be fair to saying they were doing it with style. Strachan lofting in the corner. Bonner palming it down. All very ragged in the Celtic box. Bonner wasn't decisive enough, but he got away with it. And here's McGarvey running into McLeish, and McGarvey following through on the Aberdeen centre half. Free kick is given. So there's Alex McLeish. McGee's gone off to the right, followed by McLeod. McGee let it run too long. He's hoping for a free kick. He thinks he was pushed by McLeod. The referee doesn't, nor does the linesman. Proven. Lovely play from Paul McStay. McGrain. Willie McStay going in his outside, the centre half. Willie Miller pumping it forward. The Aberdeen supporters singing behind the goal in the West Terracing. Burns showing all his determination. Finding Melrose. He was offside and the ball was played.
Tommy Burns, Jock, has put a whole lot into his game today, and he's maybe just that little bit unfortunate to not have had very much produce from it, but he's worked very hard, like all the Celtic players. They really have put a whole lot into the game, and really they've got Aberdeen pinned back.
So there are the happy men from the northeast, the Aberdeen supporters celebrating, perhaps prematurely, but still that vital goal from Eric Black giving Aberdeen the lead. Rugby did well. Took another knock. I wonder how much longer he'll stay in the field, Doug Rugby, protesting to the referee that he was fouled. Silent Celtic supporters behind the goal to our right. There's certainly no reason to be disappointed with the commitment their side has shown, especially after being reduced to 10 men. Celtic will use their last player in a moment. Second substitute, Graham Sinclair, about to come on. Another McLeod to Danny McGrain. Now McClear. Proven. McGrain playing it in for Willie McStay. Now McGarvey. Can Celtic find a way through? McGrain now trying. Simpson in the way, that's a corner kick. Celtic hesitating about the substitution. I think it's Brian McClare they're thinking of taking off. So Provan fighting it in. Headed on by Melrose. Provan overhitting it back, forcing McGrain to turn to retrieve it. Now Barnes. With Melrose. Well, nothing in that shot. And now the substitution will be made for Celtic. Indeed it is Brian McClare who's going off. He's failed to break his record of failing to score against Aberdeen in 10 matches, 3 for Motherwell, now 7 for Celtic. He certainly has run himself into the ground without getting much change out of the Aberdeen defence. Graham Sinclair has gone on and he is taking up a position on the right side of midfield. Barnes easing away from McKimmie. Willie Miller showing a splendid summer pace getting across. Strachan inside for Bell. Aberdeen a chance to come forward looking for the clinching second goal. Strachan. Free kick. Impeded by McLeod. You can take it on that, but the McLeod disagrees, so does Paul McStay, but it makes no difference to referee Bob Valentine. So Gordon Strachan over the free kick. Dougie Bell behind him, just 3 men in the wall. The angle surely makes that sufficient. Bell trying to play it across. Provan reacted very smartly indeed, and that's a goal kick for Celtic. A rather wasted opportunity, and again a degree of slackness in that attacking move from Aberdeen.
To me, Jock, Aberdeen look a team that are content to be in front, but if I'm being honest with you, the edge seems to have gone out the play. The passes are not as crisp, they're not as accurate, and they don't seem to have great response from the fact that this is a cup final.
Now here's Stuart McKimmie. Just too high for McGee. That's a brilliant turn from McGee. Away from McGrain. And he in turn lost it too far over. McKimmie retrieves it. He has Dougie Bell behind him. That really was a moment of brilliance from McGee. The dummy from Strachan. Back to Simpson. Eric Black going to pick it up again for Aberdeen. An easy one for Bond. So time rapidly running out for Celtic. And also for Watford, who still trail by 2 goals to 0 to Everton at Wembley. And some cause for Scottish celebrations there with Andy Gray and Graham Sharp getting the Everton goals. Frank McGarvey. Now McStay. Melrose has come wide, followed by Miller. Sinclair at the far side, the header down towards McGarvey. Can he turn? Cleach making it difficult. Here's Danny McGrain. Well, the Celtic captain did well, making room for the shot. Couldn't get it on target. He hasn't found the net this season. But what an occasion this would have been to break his cup.
From a moral point of view, this has really been Celtic's final, Jock. It's very, very disappointing from them. They happened with someone, and Danny made himself good position just again there, but wasn't accurate enough for his finishing shot.
Strachan and McGee trying to make something up for Aberdeen. Here's Mark McGee trying to loft one across with his left foot to chip it into the far corner, I think. Strachan and McGee combining, the 2 men probably playing their last games for Aberdeen. McGee almost certain to go to Hamburg next season. Strachan certainly off to Manchester United. Strachan's corner. Easily gathered by Pat Bonner. Good running from Melrose. Bell penalised for the tackle from the back. Just about 5 minutes left for play. Aberdeen 1, Celtic 0. Robert McLeod now coming from the back. Sinclair right up front. Provan on the wing. He's had some success taking on Rugby on the inside this afternoon. There's a chance for Melrose. And the equaliser for Paul McStay. Well, these pictures tell it all for Paul McStay. 4.5 minutes left. Celtic celebrate. And there's the jubilation on the bench. Paul McStay with his 7th goal of the season, the most vital of all. And Aberdeen have paid for their moments of slackness. Provan set it up. Leaving that back for McGrane. He drove it into the box. Melrose was tackled well by McKimmie. It fell for McStay, and look at that for power. Well, Billy McNeil talking a moment ago about a moral victory for Celtic, and now you may consider justice has been done.
Well, I don't think that Aberdeen can complain, Jock. I think Celtic are entitled to be at least level at this stage, because having the handicap of 10 men for the full second half, they've really never been out the game, and I think they're entitled at this stage to be level at least.
So, for the 6th year in succession, extra time staring us in the face in a Scottish Cup final. Unless, of course, there's something yet to come from either of these sides. There's McStay again. So over the top it goes. Well, Paul McStay undoubtedly the happiest man in Hampden. Not to mention his brother and members of his family in the stand. The youngest player in the field, bringing Celtic right back into the match. Friendly touch, but there's Strachan, taken late by McLeod. McGee collects it for Aberdeen. Strachan's back on his feet, and that'll be a free kick, I think. Willie McStay penalised for the body check on Mark McGee. And Willie McStay wants to debate the matter with Mark McGee, which seems to be foolish and fruitless. So Neil Simpson with the free kick for Aberdeen. Swerving it in, it's well taken by Bonner. So a couple of minutes left. Can either side produce a winner within the 90 minutes? Garvey playing it in. Here's Graham Sinclair. Oh, that wasn't far away. Well, Celtic showing tremendous appetite for the contest. And of course, any fatigue they were feeling has been removed by that equaliser from Paul McStay. McLeod's header. Touched on by Provan to Melrose. Coming inside, Willie Miller. Breaks for Paul McStay. So Sinclair towards Provan. McGrane lifting his head as the ball arrived, and that's an Aberdeen throw. Well, it looks as though Aberdeen are going to be more content to get to extra time than Celtic. So a hold up here. Davy Provan suffering from a spot of cramp, I think. And it's little wonder after all the effort he's put into this match. Just 1 minute left. Aberdeen 1, Celtic 1. And Alex Ferguson, the Aberdeen manager, clearly a man who will be very disappointed with his team's second half performance. Well, that picture tells the story that it's cramp Davy Provan suffering from. Physiotherapist Ryan Scott trying to get Provan fit to resume. It's going to be tough for Provan if he's going to play half an hour like that. There they are, the Celtic supporters now behind the east goal. referee fairly indulgent there, allowing plenty of time for Providence to recover, but I think that's justified in the circumstances. And the final whistle is gone at Wembley. Everton have won the cup for the first time since 1968. 2-0 final score. But here at Hampden, extra time is staring us in the face. The 90 minutes are up. Robin trying to get away from rugby. Danny McGrain running into trouble with Dougie Bell. Oh, that's a bad tackle from McGrain. A very bad one as Bell ran away from him. Now, that really was very foolish for a man of McGrain's vast experience. Now, he dwelt on the ball too long. He had got into a ankle, lost it to Bell. Now, just look at this for a tackle born out of fatigue and frustration. Well, many might think that's no worse than Roy Aitken's in the first half. Roy Aitken was ordered off, but can't think that Danny McGrain might be ordered off similarly. Well, the referee's taking plenty of time about it. No, the yellow card is sufficient on this occasion. So Aberdeen have the free kick. We're into injury time now. There's McNeish lighting it in. Bonner is committed, having to thump the ball clear. He couldn't handle outside the box. There's Barnes. And there goes the final whistle. 90 minutes are up. And Paul McStay has given Celtic the lifeline, which gives them half an hour to aim for their first trophy of the season. So 22 very tired players. Alec Ferguson thoroughly disgusted, I think, as he comes onto the field to sort out his Aberdeen players. So some hard talking to be done. Half an hour's action still to come. You won't miss any of it. And now I hand you back to Ian Archer in our studio inside Hampden.
Right. Reach very far down to go another 30.
Yeah, very much so. But in saying that, at the moment I would think the Celtic players will be a wee bit stronger and fresher than the Aberdeen players, because, you know, for so long they've been doing all the running and now they've got something out of it. The Aberdeen players obviously thought the cup was in the bag and they were on their way home.
Well,
so it's going to be a test of character more than anything else.
In the classic phrase, extra time, here we come, all to play for the 1984 Scottish Cup, up there for grabs. Jock round.
Thank you, Ian. Some very interesting comments, and all the talking goes for nothing now as the two sides square up for the last half hour this afternoon. And if we can't sort it out the next half hour, it will be back here on Tuesday night for a replay. Aberdeen, of course, have been over the course in the last two cup finals against Rangers. They've gone to extra time each occasion and come out winning. Free kick given against Tommy Burns. Strachan sent spinning, and Aberdeen get the chance to put some pressure on the Celtic defence early in extra time. McKimmie coming forward. Neil Cooper. Simpson. Now Rugby. Black had a very quiet second half, getting involved in the play. Simpson to McKimmie. Jim Melrose getting back. McKimmie goes forward very comfortably on the ball. But here's Rugby. Well, the Celtic supporters enjoyed Took Rugby taking a tumble, but it's Aberdeen's throw. Some very tired players out there in the field. Kicked across by McGee, a header out from Willie McStay. Strachan didn't get it properly. Flag is up against Black. Too slow coming out with the Celtic defence. Now Davy Provan. McGarvey, stockings at the ankles. The precaution against cramp. Provan in towards McStay. Good play from the youngster, finding his brother Willie. So a bit of probing going on now as these two tired sides look for opportunities to play telling passes to forwards. Cooper playing it wide for McKimmie. That's for Strachan to chase, but Sinclair will have the legs of him, I think. He has tremendous running power, Graham Sinclair. That's not the most elegant of movers, but covers the ground very rapidly indeed. And Aberdeen are now anxious to make a substitution. Billy Stark will come on with his first taste of cup final football. And the replacement is for Doug Rugby. Rugby's been carrying a knock for much of the second half. Neil Cooper has gone to left back. Billy Stark will slot into his customary midfield role. So Sinclair now with the throw for Celtic. Came in with the tackle. That's McLeod's clearance. Miller with McGarvey. And Miller gets it back. The ball spinning kindly for him. Sinclair sticking close to Gordon Strachan. So Aberdeen's throw taken by Strachan. Well, he thought it was going to be his last game in Aberdeen colours, but unless either side can conjure up a winner in extra time, he'll be back here on Tuesday. Sinclair penalised for the tackle on Bell. Strachan now towards McGee. That's a good tackle from Willie McStay. He's getting the measure of Mark McGee. Leashed it enough, they got a touch. Melrose with the throw for Burns. Simpson got a foot in. Burns again. Screening the ball from Simpson. Garvey going for it with Willie Miller. Back it comes to McStay. Oh, Paul McStay looking for his second goal of the match. What a splendid young player he is. Tommy Burns did well in this move for Celtic. Flipped the ball back across. McGarvey held it up, played it back. The chest control from McStay and the volley just going wide.
Aberdeen, Jock, look like a team that's played a hard season. They don't seem to have any sharpness about them. Celtic have taken the game again, and indeed Paul McStay looks to get stronger as the game goes on and progresses.
And yet Aberdeen have had the opportunity to rest players in the very easy run-in the league programme, having won the league so early on. Still at Celtic, who appear to have that little bit of edge and that little bit of hunger. That's a free kick on McKimmie by Tommy Burns. Quickly taken, McKimmie to Strachan. Looked in towards Black. Offside flag was up against Black. Black protesting, but the free kick's been given. So the reshaped Aberdeen midfield is Bell, Simpson and Stark, with Strachan on the right. Cooper at left back. McLeish's header with Simpson, collected by Paul McStay. Provan using McGrain behind him. That's for Melrose. Quick turn towards McGarvey, and McStay couldn't control it. A fleeting chance there for Paul McStay, if he could have gathered the ball. Now Bell. Pressure, pair of legs on Dougie Bell and anyone else. Apart from perhaps Billy Stark and Graham Sinclair, the substitutes. Stark playing it back towards McKimmie, who's eased away by McLeod, but Bonner had that situation under control. Miller's header. Strachan controlling it for Simpson. Strachan waited until the gap opened up on the left for Neil Cooper to fill it. And Hughes McGee on the left touchline. Sinclair wins the high ball, but Simpson gets to it first. Simpson has Bell on the outside. Good running from Bell, but Willie McStay read it well. Recovery from Cooper for Neil Simpson. Strachan going to take on Graham Sinclair. Got the cross in. Cooper forced it back into the box. Good layoff that from McGee to Stark. Coven got a foot in. There's Neil Cooper. Stark wanted it back immediately. Cooper now forced to play it back for McLeish and Simpson. Got the break of the ball off Melrose. Bell. And he hits the post. Bonner completely beaten. Inflated ball for Black. The shot goes in from Mark McGee and Aberdeen are in front. 8 minutes into extra time. And Mark McGee perhaps gives Aberdeen his farewell present with what could turn out to be the winning goal in the cup final. The Celtic players and supporters completely stunned. McGee jubilant, the Aberdeen supporters in similar mood. And that all arose from that piece of inspiration from Dougie Bell. So Celtic have to try and do it all over again. It was down to Bell initially, whose shot hit the post. It dropped to that position on the right where Gordon Strachan picked it up. The cross aimed for Eric Black. Black couldn't reach it. Taken on the volley by McGee with deadly accuracy, and Aberdeen got back ahead. Rain coming in. Back to Barnes. Oh, and Leighton scrambling in his line. Well, Celtic making it clear they don't consider the match to be over.
Jock, it's a real testament to their attitude that they're trying to get themselves back into this game. You saw the disappointment, the despondency in their attitude there when they lost that goal. But here they are back at that other end trying to get something, and that one was only inches away.
One for the shot, which had Leighton scrambling anxiously. But now the Aberdeen supporters, after a lean time out in the second half, get a chance to enjoy the occasion once again. Bell is the man who made the difference. A very deceptive, swerving left foot shot, getting away from Bonner, setting up the opening for McGee's goal. So a goal kick is given. Dougie Bell protesting to the referee. 10 minutes into extra time. Well, perhaps a tribute to Aberdeen management, the way they managed to lift these Aberdeen players for the extra time effort.
Yes, I think obviously Dougie Bell's turned out to be a very important player for them, Jock. That he's good at going running at people with the ball, and Celtic have a lot of tired legs here, and they could create all sorts of problems if he goes and attacks them with the ball.
There's McGarvey. Getting away from Miller and Cooper. The Celtic players looking for a penalty rather forlornly as McGarvey goes down. The referee right on the spot waving play on. Well, it's certainly a match which the referee Bob Valentine will remember. Aberdeen supporters finding a trip from the northeast worthwhile suddenly. So Bob Valentine will no doubt reflect in the second cup final when he had to order off key Celtic player in the first half. With Melrose, Barnes making the run, being closed down by Miller. Well, look how Neil Simpson got back with Melrose. That's what makes Neil Simpson such an important player for Aberdeen. He ran fully 50 yards to get in that tackle on Melrose. So Celtic's corner, taken by Proven. Can Celtic come back once again? Leighton getting to the ball, feeding it out to Strachan. away from McGrain, but Burns has come back a long way to help out in defence. Now Modern McLeod. Ball McStay. Body check on Dougie Bell. Born out of fatigue more than anything else, I think. Here's McGee. And that shot for the second goal was a very good one indeed from a tight angle. Very accurate. Tribute to McGee's finishing ability, giving him his 24th goal of the season. Here's Tommy Burns for Celtic. Trying to make room for the shot. Never quite steadied himself.
You can see Willie Miller there, Jock, just now getting on his players because he's not happy with the way they played. It's interesting to note the only time they used the advantage of extra man was when they scored the goal, because they spread a bit and made Celtic's job that bit difficult for them and capitalised on it. But really Celtic have chased them, they've harried them, they've worked hard, they've not allowed them to settle, and they've done a bit of creation themselves.
McLeod using Willie McStay and Pat Bonner at the back. Melrose to Provan. Free kick. Bad foul that by McKimmie. And he too will be booked. Well, a busy afternoon indeed for Bob Valentine. It's another piece of good play from Davy Provan. He's shaken off that bout of cramp earlier on, but taken badly by McKimmie. And there can be no complaints at all from the young fullback, as he joins a substantial number of his teammates and opponents in the referee's book. Boyakin, of course, having suffered the ultimate punishment. Burns sliding it in, and that was just too high for Willie McStay. Well, the Northern Lights will no doubt be belted out from the Aberdeen supporters if the scoreline stays the same. Stark with the touch. Black holding it up for Strachan. Now McGee. Bit ambitious, that little flick towards Strachan. Picked up by McGrain. Looking for his 5th winner's medal, Danny McGrain. Mother McLeod playing it wide. It's picked up by Cooper. Stark off on the run, but it's cut off by McGee. Good positioning by Dougie Bell, but the half-time whistle is gone in extra time. So there will be a quick turnaround. Aberdeen leading by the goal scored by Mark McGee early in extra time. And that's the goal which Celtic are going to try to find a way to peg back in the remaining 15 minutes. There will be no time for on-field instructions. Well, Billy, how do you see the last 15 minutes?
Well, the thing is, Joe, obviously Aberdeen got the goal, and it was a good goal. In fairness to Mark McGee, he took it very well. But having said that, they've got the goal, and it gives them that bit of comfort. The Celtic haven't given up yet, and I wouldn't put it past them to get something back in this game, because they've decided they're going to give everything they've got. They're not going to lose this final till they've used up the last drop of energy, and I wouldn't put it past them getting something back here.
Well, that might be a prophetic word from Billy McNeil. McGrain playing it forward only as far as Stark, and this is Bell. Willie McStay for a good match for Celtic. Not only defensively but creatively, although that time he ran out of luck as he ran into Neil Cooper. Stark going for that with Danny McGrain, and Celtic gets the throw. Frank McGarvey. Danny McGrain. Too high for Melrose and too long for Frank McGarvey. Well, in extra time 2 years ago, Aberdeen ran away from Rangers. It was 1 each at the end of 90 minutes, and they scored 3 times in extra time for a 4-1 win. But last year they had to be content with Derek Black's header for the only goal of the 120 minutes. And now clinging to that slender lead provided by Mark McGee. judgment by McKimmie. Sinclair gets away with lifting his boot very high. And Dougie Bell is penalised, partly for using an arm on Frank McGarvey. Well, it gets tougher and tougher to get back on your feet after you take these knocks, as Frank McGarvey is finding. Murdo MacLeod. There's Willie McStay. Robin getting away from Cooper. And Bell thumping the ball wide. It's retrieved, well, not quite by Eric Black. Well, they certainly made a vital contribution to the Aberdeen effort with that opening goal in the 24th minute. Since then, he's had a tough time of it, though. Now the flag is up. Must have been a deflection. It appeared to be from a throw-in.
I think he's given infringement of the throw-in, Jockey. I think he had his foot over the line as he took the throw-in.
Yeah, it's a foul throw. After the linesman flagged for the infringement, and Billy Stark has a chance to play the ball Aberdeen's way, but Paul McStay has it for Celtic. Now Provan. Two excellent players in close situations, McStay and Provan. And McGarvey, chance for the shot. Well, you have to wonder if fatigue set in there and Frank McGarvey. He had a fair chance there to let fly for goal.
I think Frank Legs have just about given up on him, Jock, because he's covered every blade of this grass today. He's worked very, very hard, and I think it showed in that final shot there, because he got himself into a nice little interplay with Davy Provan and created a good shooting opportunity.
Sinclair still marking Gordon Strachan. Although Strachan has been less influential on the Aberdeen effort than a lot of people expected this afternoon. Black is away from MacLeod and from Barnes. McGee takes over, but that's an offside decision, clearly against Dougie Bell. Well, the referee will undoubtedly add time on for that piece of time wasting by Dougie Bell. Header, returned by McStay. Strachan down to Bell. This Simpson. McLeish quite content to play it back to Leighton. Not a time for heroics, of course. Hanging on to a one-goal lead with extra time ticking away. Just over 10 minutes left. Black getting up with MacLeod. The chance for Stark. Brought down by MacLeod, right at the edge of the box. Well, they start very menacing, running onto these walls at the edge of the box. Now, can Aberdeen settle it here and now? Pat Bonner organising a wall, which I'm sure will number no less than 4, perhaps 5. Billy Stark and Gordon Strachan over the ball. The expert of the situation, Peter Weir, is off, substituted in the second half. Strachan over the ball, waving Bell to the right. And off the woodwork. Pat Bonner survives. And those tired Celtic legs scramble the ball away, but Gordon Strachan almost tied it up with that free kick. The junction of the post and crossbar. There it is, flighted in. Bonner trying to get across. It had beaten the wall and right at the junction of the post and bar. A great free kick from the little man. Celtic are still hanging in there. They're on the ropes perhaps, but not down and out. There's McKimmie. Lofting it forward. McGee giving chase with MacLeod. Sinclair turning it out. Aberdeen's throw. Rather MacLeod tidying up at the back. He's done very well in that central defensive role after moving back when Roy Aitken was ordered off. Strachan to Bell. Well, Well, powerful running in Dougie Bell, but the shot not of the same calibre. Well, Aberdeen certainly appear to have a grip in the match now, and certainly there are signs, Billy, that Celtic have run out of steam.
Yes, it looks just a little bit like that at the moment, Jock. You know, you mentioned Murdo McLeod's name just a minute ago, and really, he's had a tremendous game in a position that's strange to him. And probably his influence at the back has created the opportunity for them to display the ability and the determination they have further forward.
The time ticking away rapidly for some. Stark challenging with McStay. That was a clumsy challenge, and the free kick's been given. McStay's in a hurry, of course. Here's Tommy Burns. Garvey well marked by McLeish, but still linking up. Paul McStay. Interception by Simpson. Cooper brought down accidentally by McStay, allowing the ball to run to Provan. Oh, great play again from Davy Provan, but the final tackle from McKimmie was a good one. And Strachan sorts it out as Provan stays on the deck. Well, that was a bad tackle by Willie McStay, bringing the Celtic management from the bench. And Willie McStay will now be in serious trouble. Strachan on the deck, he was certainly thumped heavily from the back. Now, if my memory serves me right, Willie McStay, has he been booked? I can't remember, there have been so many bookings in the match. If Willie McStay has been booked, he could well face an ordering off. Well, here's what it's all about. Strachan coming clear, he's getting away from Melrose. There's Willie McStay, and well, there's not much doubt about the viciousness in that one. Oh, he's back in his central defensive beat, and the referee is not showing a lot of interest in him. The referee anxious for Aberdeen to get on with it. We're 8.5 minutes into the second half of extra time, and it looks as though Gordon Strachan will not make a significant contribution to the rest of the proceedings, going by the way he's limping. Well, what is referee Valentine going to do about Willie McStay? The answer to that is nothing. McLeish with a free kick. McStay's header. Handball by McGee. He was offside in any event. Perhaps he knew that. So a free kick to Celtic, taken quickly and back, allowing Bonner to launch one downfield. Perhaps hoping for an error in the half of the Aberdeen defence. There aren't too many of these normally. McLeish and Miller in dominant mood. Graham Sinclair with the throw. Davy Provan trying to get inside. Miller's tackle. Here's Paul McStay going into the box, inviting a tackle from anyone who's rash enough to carry it over. That's a goal kick. Well, it really was marvellous play that from Paul McStay, carrying those tired legs forward sharply. Now this is top quality midfield play, driving into the box, inviting anyone to take him in full flight and bring on a penalty kick, trying to hit the dead ball line, and the ball is carried just about a foot over the line.
What a magnificent display we've had from Paul McStay, Jock, because he's got stronger as the game's got on. Magnificent ability, we've never doubted that, but his fitness, his attitude when he's been a man down has been tremendous.
More frustration there for Celtic, with Murdo McLeod penalised for pushing as he went for the high ball with Eric Black. Yes, a superb performance from Paul McStay, one which may well be repeated against England next week in the Scotland-England International. 5 minutes, just less than 5 minutes left in extra time. Billy Stark with his head to it, Eric Black hanging in the air, there's Mark McGee, and once again he hits the post. Well, Mark McGee, another of the Aberdeen players, getting stronger as the game goes on. Free kick started it all off. McLeish lofting it forward. Billy Stark did well initially, got his head to it. Then Eric Black up early, got a touch. There was McGee forcing his way in and rattling the ball off the post. Well, Bell's header into space, which is occupied by Graham Sinclair. Now Willie McStay with Murdo MacLeod. Trying to get into the Aberdeen box as quickly as he can. Here's Strachan. Running it inside for McKimmie. Aberdeen retaining possession well. With Neil Cooper sidestepping Danny McGrain. Billy Stark taking up good position on the left. One of the men who could run with it. Trying to find Strachan on the right, giving it away. And look at McStay again, finding Sinclair and going for the return. What stamina this young man has. Now Melrose. McStay involved again. Lift away from him by McKimmie. And Bell pirouetting on the ball to bring it clear and find Strachan. And that's one for McGee to chase into space on the left. Well, the legs simply gave out. 3 minutes left. McGee now suffering from cramp. The play rages on. Celtic in possession. Towards McGarvey. Tackle from Simpson. Back it goes to MacLeod. Target this time is Danny McGrain, but Neil Cooper is there. Showing his value to Aberdeen after starting the match. A key man in midfield, now playing well at left back. Bobbin. Ball's not out. McGarvey turning it back in. No, it was over from Danny McGrain. That tired attempt at the cross, slicing behind. With Jim Layton waving everyone away. You can take it, he'll take a bit of time over this goal kick. The Aberdeen supporters still chanting behind the goal to the left, the West terracing. Celtic now gather themselves for one final effort to save the final. There's Sinclair, nodding it back for Murdo MacLeod. Simpson. Now Sinclair. That's for Melrose. McKimmie in the way. So the Aberdeen supporters anxiously checking their watches. Whistling around the stadium, looking for the final whistle from referee Bob Valentine. There's about 60 seconds left. Oh, Willie McStay realised he had a long chase back, handling the ball. And the referee taking an indulgent view of that. I think, in fairness, that's reasonable in the circumstances. Cooper playing it towards McGee. Turning Willie McStay, but inaccurate pass. The referee waving play on as Burns goes down. Handball by Bell. No, referee allows play to go on. Back it comes to Cooper. And that's an easy one for Bonner. Giving it to Paul McStay. Seconds now left. 15 remaining. A rare bad pass from Paul McStay. Here's Eric Black, anxious to take the ball for a run on the left. Time up by our watch. Any time added on for stoppages. Black finds Billy Stark. And Black on the touchline, again the target. Strachan will take it. Aberdeen content to retain possession to see out these closing seconds. And what a roar we'll have from the Aberdeen supporters behind the goal. And there it goes, the final whistle. Aberdeen have completed the hat-trick. The smile from Alex Ferguson. Strachan and Burns together in sporting fashion. Alex Ferguson greets the supporters behind the goal to the left, the Aberdeen fans. You may remember he was so unhappy after their victory last season by the way they played. It wasn't a vintage Aberdeen performance, but one which has brought that smile of joy from Alex Ferguson. And the goal that did it is now coming up. It was Gordon Strachan's cross. from the right, after the ball cannoned off the post from Bell's shot. Black couldn't reach it, McGee did, and that's a magnificent finish on the volley. So the winning goal from Mark McGee, greeted by Alec Ferguson. And is he on his way to Hamburg? I think we'll find out very soon. So it's Aberdeen's 5th Scottish Cup win, and remarkably they've had 3 in succession. The last time they met Celtic in the final was in 1970 when they won 3-1. And Joe Harper, one of our panellists, scored a penalty kick. So Davy Hay looking pensive, clearly harbouring a sense of injustice about the ordering off of Roy Aitken in the first half. But he must be proud of his players, although in the end the day belongs to Alec Ferguson and his Aberdeen players, 9 of whom will now climb the steps to collect their 3rd Scottish Cup winners' medal. Here's Graham Stewart.
Alec Ferguson, the hat-trick of Scottish Cup wins, but you had to fight very hard to get it.
Oh, all credit to Celtic. It's always a problem, you play 10 men. I tell you, I said to half-time that we were now, it was now a problem for us, really, playing 10 men. And well, we got a bit complacent, but the better side won, no doubt about that.
But at 80 minutes into the game, did you think you had it sewn up? Did you think Celtic could come back?
No. But they did marvellous to come back. A magnificent hit for a goal, you know. Really well hit ball.
They really came at you at the start of the second half, and that's what you've got, that goal from Mark McGee, the Scottish Cup.
That's great. It's a great achievement 3 times in a row. Unbelievable. Everything. Really proud of them. Everyone on it. Marvellous.
Thank you very much, Alec Ferguson.
So smiling Alec Ferguson departs, and this is becoming an annual occasion. The 3rd time in a row we've seen these men in red collecting the Scottish Cup. And all bar Stuart McKimmie and Peter Weir of the original 11 are collecting their 3rd medal for winning the Scottish Cup. Gordon Strachan's farewell to the Aberdeen supporters, who's off now to Old Trafford, but with another winner's medal. So Stuart McKimmie gets his 1st Scottish Cup winners' medal. A dream come true for him. Peter Weir, who was substituted, goes off. And a first 2 for Billy Stark, the former St Mirren midfield player. For Doug Rugby, it's a 3rd, and cheekily snatching a kiss, despite the missing front tooth. So Rugby brings the cup down. And Alec Ferguson, you can see that look of contentment all over his face. The double has been completed, the league and the cup. It's the first time he's done that. Willie Miller looks very calm about it all. He's used to collecting trophies now. And the Aberdeen players gathering now. I think they'll go to salute their fans. The Doug Rugby comes through the milling crowd of photographers. And there will be a series of photographs before the cup is shown close up to the Aberdeen supporters on the west terracing. So a happy group of Aberdeen players gathering around the Scottish Cup, which has been in the Pequodry boardroom for the last 2 years. So there's the happy scene for the Aberdeen players surrounding the Scottish Cup. And with that, we'll hand you back now to Ian Archer in our Hampden studio.
Right, so 3 in a row for Aberdeen. The Northern Lights of Aberdeen will be shining brightly tonight. Alex Ferguson's team has done it again. We'll be back to analyse all the match action and analysis after the break.
Doug Rugby with the supporters' cap on. Well, they took their opportunity of getting the double for the first time. They made heavy weather of it, but I think in the moment of triumph all that is forgotten. Willie Miller, certainly the finest Scottish defender I've ever observed. Jim Leighton, who's unlikely to let that cup drop. Dick Rigby, the toothless one. I think there'll be a few drams of celebration on the buses back to Aberdeen tonight. The celebration is now confused with photographers coming in. I must say, it must be a marvellous moment for the likes of Mark McGee and Strachan, Gordon Strachan, to have this moment. There's Stuart McKinney in his first appearance at Hampden Park, along with the more experienced Doug Rigby, getting the cup and a cup medal. And there's Willie Miller, utterly satisfied with the day. What a marvellous man he is. What a great season he's had. And there the Celtic support still here, right underneath our actual cabin. And in that cabin is waiting Dougie Donnelly with the two men whom I'm sure in different ways have enjoyed this afternoon, Tommy Gemmell and Bobby...